Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's On The Social. This is the show where you take control and send in questions for me to answer. Once again, we've got so many questions sent in, so I'm just going to dive straight in and crack on with them. Right, starting off with Kent Irons. Ryan, there's empty seats at most home games. Some clubs, I believe, do a system of if you don't turn up to a certain percentage of home games, the club can take your season ticket. What do you think? Also, what is your opinion of if you sign up to the Home Cup scheme, you get 2 priority points rather than 1, I believe, from next season? Sort of 2 questions in one there, so I'll quickly get through these. First of all, with the empty seats at the stadiums, yeah, I can see your point on that. There is a lot of empty seats at West Ham, but I think some people just pick and choose what games they want to come. It's a shame. But I think it gets noticed more because obviously we've got more seats. But it did happen at the bowling as well. As for taking your season ticket away, yeah, maybe that could be a good thing to sort of say if you don't turn up for sort of 3 or 4 games in a row, or if you miss 10 a season at home, then they can look into it. As for the second part, yeah, I see that. I think that's a bit of a liberty, really, because people that go away games, the midweek games, you go out to Manchester on a Wednesday night, you get 1 point. But if you go to a home game, you get 2 points. So I can see why there's a few people frustrated, but it's a good way for people to build up their points as well. Right, moving on. Ali Shah. I reckon next season will show what we are made of. Once we get rid of the deadwood and those who don't want to be there, I reckon we will do well next season. What are your thoughts? Hashtag Ryan's favourite. Yeah, look, I could totally agree. It's going to be a massive summer for West Ham. There's a lot of players that I think, well, I say a lot, probably about 5 or 6 that need to leave the club. And we need to bring a few in. I think there's going to be more than probably 5 or 6 leave West Ham, if I'm honest. But it's the striker situation that worries me, because at the moment, all of our strikers look like they're going to be leaving the club. So that's just, we definitely need to address that. Midfield, right back, left back, yeah, all over. So it's going to be a massive summer. But I think if we can build on some of the players we've already got there, players we've got coming back into the squad as well. Like, you've got Lanzini back now. You'll have Yarmolenko back next season. There's a good squad to work with for Pellegrini. It just depends on the money and who he gets rid of, and who he can bring in. Tom Wells, based on the season so far, where do you think we will finish and what are our targets for next season? I said at the beginning of the season, I'll take top 10. Anywhere between sort of like 10th and 7th is progression on the last 2 seasons. We're 2 points, I think, off a 7th place, or a point, I think it is. We obviously played Watford last game of the season, but we've got some difficult away games. So I think we're going to finish with about 8th. I think 8th or 9th will be a good season for West Ham, especially after the start. And our targets for next season is to better that, and obviously good cup run, and try to win a cup like we should do every year. Ben Holman. Hey lads, my question is, what would count as success in the Pellegrini project after 3 years? Would it be the establishment of top half team, breaking into Europe on a more regular basis, or winning silverware? Keep up the good work, lads. I'd love all them. I'd love to be an established top 10 team, breaking into Europe every season and winning a trophy. But for me, if Pellegrini's got us regular European football in 3 years' time, then I think he's probably overachieved, really, with what he's got at the moment. Yeah, as for silverware, of course, we all want to win silverware, but we ain't won a major trophy in 39 years, since 1980. So it's a tough ask for Pellegrini. A lot of managers have come and gone and have failed. So, but yeah, we definitely need to be an established top 10 Premier League team trying to break Europe every season. Kun John, Chica to be kept for next season. Play him in the right system and he is deadly. 2 up front, what do you think? Yeah, look, for me, I'd keep Hernandez. As long as he wants to stay, I'd definitely keep him. He proved on Saturday what he can do. As for playing 2 up front, most teams now play 1 up front. But yeah, I think, you know, he fits into sort of any system for me, really. But I would love to keep him. As I said, he proved it on Saturday. He's a goal scorer, and when he gets a chance, 9 times out of 10, he usually takes it. So he's deadly in the 6-yard box. I mean, he's never scored outside the box in the Premier League, so it proves what sort of striker he is. At Dave Evans 1986, time to bench or completely drop Arnie from the squad and move on. even if it means losing some value in the summer, as I don't think it will make much difference now as he has been poor for a while. Thoughts? Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, at the moment, Arnautovic is going through a really bad spell. Obviously, since the China rumours, his form's dipped. It seems like some of the players as well don't really want him on the pitch, which is tough because Arnie is a good player. We know he's a good player. To leave him out of the squad completely, no, I wouldn't leave him out of the squad. He's been benched. He started on Saturday against Huddersfield. It wasn't great. But, you know, with Arnie, we know he is effective. And once he gets back on form, he's not got long left now. He's only got a few games left remaining in the season. So he's got to prove, if he wants a big money move, he's got to prove that he's worth it. But I wouldn't completely drop him from the squad because I think he will win us games this season and he's going to be crucial for the run-in for the end of the season. Ben Watts. What player do you think we need back from injury that would benefit our team? Well, at the moment, I'd probably say, I know he's back and he was on the bench Saturday, but Balbuena, I think Ogbonna, for me, Balbuena's ready to step in now, and hopefully him and Diop can get that partnership going again. But at the injury, we've got Sanchez, Andy Carroll, Jack Wilshere, Winston Reid, and Yarmolenko. For me, if I had to choose one of them fully fit to be back in there now, it's a tough one. I like Jack Wilshere, but for me, Yarmolenko was just showing signs that he was settling in the Premier League. You know, he got his couple of goals at Everton, and then he picked up that nasty injury against Chelsea. It looks like it's ruled him out for the season, but I think he's going to be an important player for us next season. So yeah, I'll probably say Yarmolenko. Right, Philip Bora. My question this week is, after Huddersfield, is that there was mixed reaction to the result. Marshy, whose opinion I very much respect, was very critical and questioned why the majority of us celebrated the victory. Thoughts? Yeah, Marshy's fan cam, I see he got a little bit of stick for this, but I can sort of see where he's coming from. He's obviously thinking about the overall performance. But the reason why we're celebrating, I mean, it don't matter how bad you play. When you're 3-1 down with 15 minutes to go, don't matter who it's against, you score 3 goals and you win the game, you're going to come out of that ground buzzing. You know, you're expecting to go home getting ready to slate the players, and we've lost the game and we've ended up winning it 4-3. But yeah, no, I understand where Marshy was coming from. It wasn't a great performance, but we still dug out, we still got the result, and we still got the 3 points, which is the main important thing. Right, Alex Smith. Ryan, my question this week is regarding our kit for next season, as the rumours are this could be Umbro's last season for us. What would you like to see from them next season? Personally, in our home kit, I'd like to see a tad more blue, as this season's had next to none in the home kit. Yeah, I agree. I think we need to go back to retro next season. Claret top, blue sleeves, you know, and for the away kit, I'd love to see the, you know, the light blue with the claret hoops. I'd love to see that. It's my favourite away kit. West Ham down the years, every time they released that kit, you know, we had one with Macron, I think it was, when they done it. It's, you know, we've had it with Pony, so I'd love to see us bring it out. But yeah, I definitely agree with you. We do need more blue on the sleeves, because as you can see on this kit, there's hardly any. But when you go back to the last at the Bowling, you know, yeah, that was a beautiful kit. And Umbro done well that season. So hopefully they can sort of get something along that lines for next season. Ollie Jonas. Every time Hernandez is on a run of games without scoring, he gets dropped, then scores when he gets recalled. This is a strange pattern. Any idea why? You'd have to ask Hernandez that, personally, mate. But for me, I think it shows that he's more effective as a sub. Look, I like Hernandez. I do like him. But sometimes he frustrates me like most players. But as it proved on Saturday, he will score goals when he's in the right position. He come off the bench at half-time and he won us the game. He got man of the match. It does seem like he's better coming off the bench than starting. But look, as long as he's got decent players around him, Lanzini, Nasri, players like that who can feed him the ball, Anderson, give him chances, you know, as I said, he will score goals. Right, Billy Herring. Who would you start next, Chica or Arnie? And do you think either of them will be at West Ham next season? For me, I'd start Arnie against Everton. It's tough to drop Hernandez after his performance against Huddersfield. So that's Pellegrini's got a tough headache now. But for me personally, I'd start Arnautovic. Will they be there next season? Look, my thoughts on Arnie. If he comes out and says he wants to stay, I'll back him. Me personally, I think he wants to go. With Hernandez, I'll try to keep him. I think, you know, what we're going to get for him, probably between 10 and 12 million. If the Hernandez money we bring into getting someone better, then of course I'm all for it. And if Hernandez wants to leave, then we can't stop him really, can we? But no, I'd like to keep Hernandez. I'd like to see them both there next season, but probably both of them a go. Leone Burlace, hello Ryan, hope you and the fellas are alright. I was just wondering if you think Pellegrini's a bit of a soft touch when it comes to managing the team, or if you think he's doing okay. First of all, yeah, we're alright as far as I know. I think Graham's alright as well. I ain't seen him for a little while. Yeah, as for Pellegrini being a bit of a soft touch, I think most managers have their different styles. I mean, you get the aggressive managers who are up and down the touchline. I don't think Pellegrini's that sort of type. I don't know what he's like in the dressing room, so I don't know if he screams and shouts, but I can imagine he does. I like Pellegrini. I think he's done wonders this season, especially after the start of the season, losing our first 4 games. With the injuries we've had as well, they haven't helped. The only downside for me this season, if I was to look back on it and say what was your disappointment, was probably the FA Cup. We went out to AFC Wimbledon, who deserved it on the night. But when you look at the teams that are left, you know, in the FA Cup, we had a real chance this season to really go for a bit of silverware or even reach the final. So that's the only disappointment for me for Pellegrini. But now he's got a squad to build from in the summer. Hopefully get a bit of money from the board. Get rid of the players that don't want to be here. Bring in players that do want to be here. And hopefully next season we'll all be smiling and hopefully in the top half of the league. Aaron Hobday. As we come to the end of Pellegrini's first season in charge, do you think that as long as we finish inside the top 10, we can consider this a successful season? Yeah, I sort of touched on that in the previous question. I think beginning the season, I said top 10 is progression for me because of the previous 2 seasons. We've got a chance to finish 7th this season, so that will be massive, especially after losing our first 4 games. We've had horrendous injuries throughout the squad all season. But yeah, as the only downside for me is the FA Cup. I really think we could have gone for that this season. But look, that's over and done with now. Let's try to concentrate on getting 7th place. Colin O'Toole, the Jack Sullivan West Ham women's team telly programme on BBC4. Have you watched it? If so, what do you think of it? Would West Ham Fan TV have interest in fan cams? I believe the team is progressing well in the Cup. I've seen a few episodes. I haven't seen the last 2. Yeah, the women's team are doing unbelievable. They reached the FA Cup semi-final on Sunday. They got Reading, so they've got a good chance of meeting either Man City or Chelsea in the final at Wembley, which would be massive for the ladies team, you know, especially their first season in the top flight. As for doing fan cams, look, I'll be honest with you, mate. We obviously go to West Ham on Saturdays, you know, or whenever we play. We've all got families, so it would take up quite a big chunk of our weekend. So if we play on the Saturday, Sundays is family time. But I do try to get down to the ladies. I've been down there a couple of times. But look, if anyone wants to do fan cams for the ladies' games or interview the ladies' players and send it in to us, feel free, get in contact with us. We're more than happy to do that. Always good to promote the ladies' team, anyone connected with West Ham. Last question, this is from Nick Tucker. As we are meeting Di Canio on Thursday evening, what is your favourite moment in his career in Claret? Mine was the Bradford City game. Yeah, that Bradford City game was mental. 5-4. Di Canio just all over the place, demanding to be subbed off. Look, I'm really looking forward to meeting Di Canio on Thursday and hearing all his stories. But for me, there's the one moment would be the 1-0 win at Man United in the FA Cup in 2001 when Di Canio scored and Barthez done the old hands up. And I just remember that day going up there thinking, oh, can we win here? Can we win here? We had 9,000 of us there. And I just remember when Di Canio went through and it just like everyone sort of paused and froze because no one knew what was happening. And Di Canio put it under Barthez and he ran to the corner flag on his knees. All the players coming over and then we're just going mental. It was an unbelievable day. But no, there's so many memories of Di Canio. I mean, obviously his goal, how can you forget that? And just I've got personal memories of him down the training ground. You know, standing behind with players like Joe Cole and young Frank Lampard and just training them, teaching them. You know, he was an unbelievable player. And yeah, it's really looking forward to Thursday night and going into that. As you know, Thursday and Friday night, both nights are sold out. night with the Canio, Broadway Theatre in Barking. There are still tickets left for the Saturday night. So look, if I was you, do not miss out on what is going to be an unbelievable night with Paolo Di Canio, hosted by John Hartson. It's going to be an amazing night, and I'm sure he's going to have some great stories, and the crowd are going to be proper up for it. But yeah, thank you so much for sending in this week's questions. Look, we got so many questions sent in to us today. Them ones are just chosen at random. If I didn't read your question out, it's nothing personal. I do apologise, but thank you so much for sending them in anyway. Hopefully, you'll get on next week's show. As always, keep subscribing to the channel. International break this week, so no West Ham, but Declan Rice is in the England squad. So we've got Czech Republic on the Friday and Montenegro away on the Monday. So hopefully we'll see Declan in either of them games. It'd be nice to see him get a run out. He looks like he's enjoying himself at training with the England squad. So yeah, look, I'll leave that there. As always, give me your answers on any of the questions. Give me your thoughts on my answers. If you agree, if you disagree, thumbs up, thumbs down and all that. Keep subscribing. And yeah, one thing left to say. Come on, you Irons.